Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thanks so much for popping in today. As always, looking forward to spending some time with you. I just thought I'd give you a little reminder. It's not long now until our spring extravaganza. So this is an online crafting event. So it goes from the Thursday to the Sunday. And as you can see, there's lots of free content. There's going to be tutorials, lots of different techniques, lots of different people coming in, sharing ideas with you, maybe just having a chat. So do keep an eye open for that. Everything will be on the official Lavinia Stamps Facebook page. So do check that out. There'll be posts on Instagram and lots of other socials. And for those of you that live in the UK, if you can get to it, the Dreamatorium will finally open its doors on Friday the 4th and then Saturday the 5th of April. Now, again, if you live close or if you're lucky enough that you can travel and maybe stay over, it'd be fabulous to see you. I'm going to be there both days demonstrating and I can't wait. Honestly, I've seen the building as it's been going through various stages and honestly absolutely stunning. If you're only watching online, I'm sure our lovely Emma Jo will give you a guided tour. She usually does, and honestly you'll want to see this. So I needed to remind you about that, but it got me thinking spring extravaganza. So I thought, let's do a card with a bit of a sort of a spring theme, but one that you could change it up a little if you wanted. So this is what I've come up with. But also a couple of you have been in touch and said, you've got this stamp set and never used it. Now, we're all guilty of that, aren't we? And this one is called Make A Dandelion. And if I turn this over and show you, it's got the separate stamps so you can make up your own dandelion. But between you and me, these little ones are so useful. And the leaves, you can make a fabulous wreath. I'm just saying. But I'm not going to do that today because I know some of you have said I do a lot of wreaths and I'm, apologise, but it's my favourite. Love them. But you can do various. I mean, did you ever blow dandelions as a child? The clock, what time is it? We used to have so much fun. Little did I know I was spreading the seeds around so more would grow, but it's amazing what you do when you're a child. Those innocent days. It's amazing what we know now, isn't it? Anyway, so this is what I've come up with, and I'm going to create something like this. So have you got this stamp? And if you have, how long have you had it? It's always interesting to know. Or have you got a stamp which you've bought and never used? And as I say, we're all guilty of it. I do know a couple of you that have got the Stamp and Spin and haven't used it yet. So I'm going to be having serious words with you. But we all do it, don't we? We buy these things. So I'm going to start with the stem and the little head. And I'm just going to stamp in black today, the Nocturne. Now, you could stamp in green for the leaves. And again, I'm just coming in with this one idea, but there is so much you can do with this. And once you start playing, now I'm just going to stamp on the side, just because for me it's easier to start off with. And I'm going to go sort of there. And if Mr. Mojo's gone, a couple of you have said he's gone on a cruise and not come back. Well, we need to entice him back. And this will be a great way of enticing him back. Look at that, absolutely beautiful. Now, along the bottom, I've teamed it up with a lovely stamp, which again, I don't see used very much, and it's called the Silhouette Grass. And I thought that just works so well. And you know me, I have this thing that when I go to bed at night, any stamps that I haven't used, they get really upset and they're like, why hasn't she used me? I need to come out and play. Oh, I've just got ink on my copy paper there, so we'll turn that over. So I do try and use them. Now, the first one, first generation, I'm going to put here. And then I'm going to come in with a second generation here. Just to sort of give a bit more background. So for our new lovely friends and followers, second generation is when you don't re-ink, so you've got less ink on, but it helps with perspective and distance. And the reason I'm doing that is I want to bring in Nia. Now Nia's this fabulous little fairy, and I want to pop her down here looking up at the dandelion clock floaty bits, seed heads, that's what they're called, not floaty bits, sorry, the seed heads, just going away in the wind. And if I pop her down here, look, then she'll sit nicely, hopefully, down here. So again, I'm sticking with the black. Now, I might just have to bring my head in a little bit because I just want to get her so she's there and she's looking up. And I'm hoping I've got her feet on the grass. If not, I've got a fabulous black fine liner which I can add some extra grass so that she will be. No, that's fine. We've got that foot on, so I'm happy with that, and she's looking up. So next we've got 2 leaves, and what's lovely with these, one face is left and one face is right. Do remember with the actual stem look, obviously you can bend it. So I've put mine straight, but you can bend it before you stamp it. So you could repeat stamp this, and again, that's just a nice touch. So we'll stamp the larger one first. And again, I'm just going to put it from the base here. And then I'm going to come in with a second generation there. And I've been looking at these when I've been walking Eric. And often it's said that these are the first signs of spring that the bees really go for. So it's important to have them in our gardens and on the side of the verges. But I've been looking, and the leaves really do make a sort of rosette shape around the stem. So that's what I'm thinking of doing here. And I just want that contrast with first and second generation. Now, I stamped near first look because then I can see how far to bring my leaves round. So maybe this side I'll put one, and if my head comes in shot, I apologise. You really don't want to see the top of my hair, do you? But I think I'll just have one more. Now, what I'm going to do is just with my inky binky look, take a little bit of that ink off the bottom so I can bring that stem. But I don't trust that, just in case. I'm going to have a bit of copy, little bit of copy paper as well. And I'm going to stamp this one a bit lower. There we go. Just to alter. So I like that. I've got a nice, that fan shape. So happy with that. So I'm just going to give that a blot. Remember, your Versafine Clair, a slower drying ink. So I don't want to put my hand on this and smudge it when I stamp our lovely clock here. So belt and braces. So that means I don't trust the belt, so I need the braces. So I don't trust my blotting, so I'm just going to come in and lean on this again, just in case I've got ink on my hand. And with the little seed heads, we've got 2. And one's slightly larger than the other. So I'm going to start off with the larger one. And I'm just going to, again, use this combination of first, second and third. And I'm just going to build up my lovely seed head. But I don't want it to go all the way around. I need a gap. So we'll stamp this side. And as I say, this is the larger one. So I'm just going to stop there. I can always come back. So I'm going to come in with the smaller one now. So can you see, we're just starting to build up that shape. But I want some, just to get that lovely fullness. So we'll have a first there and a second there. And again, this side, we'll do the same. And with it being smaller, you've almost got that next layer. I'm trying not to make it too symmetrical. I want it to look a bit uneven. Now this bit here looks a bit messy. Look, I've gone a bit too far out. So what I'm going to do is ink up, and again, take the ink off this bit and just stamp the seed head over there. And again, a bit of second generation, just to hide that. So I'll stamp one on the other side. So if that happens, if you're a bit sort of unhappy with a little bit, remember this seed head part can be used. And I'm just going to put a little bit there, look. So we've got that lovely gap there. So happy with that. Do I want one there? No, I think I'm going to leave that. Or maybe I've got a little bit left on there. Yeah, just the hint there. So I like that shape. So then the seed head floating off. So let's have, and again, just use a combination. We'll have a first generation there, then maybe a second. Oh, I didn't quite stamp that properly, did I? Let's see if we can, there we go. Too much of a rush to lift it up. So we'll have another one floating here, and just altering that angle slightly so it looks like they're off in the wind. Maybe just one coming off the page there. Yeah, we'll stop there. Put the lid on. And then we'll just give that another little blot. Make sure it's all nice and dry before we add some colour. Now I'm just going to come in with my aquarelle colouring pencils. And I know you like to use like to know what numbers I've used. So my greens, I've gone for 22 and 23. And then I'm also coming in with 179, 170 and 177. So first of all, the green. And I've got a darker green and a lighter green. So the darker green, I'm just going over, and I'm actually going over the whole leaf. Now you could just go over the vein if you wanted, but the first generation I'm coming in with my darker green. And I'm just sort of, it just gives a green tint to the black. So we've got a silhouette, but we've got a little bit of hint of colour there as well. And it's a lovely thing to do this. Now, again, I'm going to be quite speedy, but I know you lovely lot. If you want, if you've got the time and you're really enjoying your colouring in, make yourself a nice brew, relax. We'll just add a little bit over that there. You'll see why. Lighter colour for going over the second generation. Just because, again, I think it helps with perspective. Just gives that hint of green. And again, I'm sort of doing circular motions. And I'm not going right to the edge because I'm going to use my clear Wink of Stella to watercolour these. Bit of Wink of colour in, and it will take the colour right to the end. So let me check it's clean. Yeah. And we'll start with the lighter colour first, and look. Now, if you haven't got a clear Wink of Stella, a normal water brush is fine. It just won't give you that sparkle. And you know me, I just want to add a little bit of sparkle. I hope you have a go at this. Now, this would team lovely as well. I just wanted to use this one stamp, but remember, we've got all our beautiful dandelion stamps, our full dandelions. So you could team it up. So again, have a look in your, I was going to say your flower drawer. That's because my stamps are in drawers, and one of them's just for florals. So maybe have a look. It's like this grass stamp. Have you got this? Have you used it? If not, you need to get it out and use it. Right, there we go. Check it's clean. And now for her wing. So I'm going to just tie in a little bit of my darker purple here, and I'm going to come in with my next purple, and then just some red, tip of the wing, and then back to my clear wink of Stella. And it, as I say, it just, oh, the watercolour beautifully, but it adds that sparkle. Now I will get a little bit on my brush, shows up with the red look, so we'll clean that. And if I just lift this up, look. Now, you know me, it's probably not easy to get the sparkle, but honestly, it is there. And with the green, I just want to add a little bit on these bits here. Right, I'm going to leave that for now. Because what we're going to do is add that beautiful colour. So if you have a look, I've been very subtle with the sky here. And for that, I'm going to use Confetti and Mermaid. But I want my round circle mask. And you know me, I'm going to turn my work upside down. Just check you can still see. And I'm just almost going to spotlight the dandelion head. So, lids off. And we'll come in first with the blue. And again, onto the circle mask. And then circular motions. Again, always blending the lid. I just find it gives such a lovely result. You see that? I nearly went in the pink then. Won't be the first time I've done that. Into this corner. Even when I re-ink, look, I always go on the mask. And then we'll just put some nice blue over here. And then I'm going to come into the pink now. And I'm just gonna, where I left some little spaces, look, I'm just going to come in and add some pink. And I love this combination. Here, and then just down here. Right, let me take that off and turn it round. Right, now I've got a mark there. So I'm just going to see if I can add a little bit of blue over that. That could just be, it could be there was a mark on the card. It could be I've picked something up on my brush. But don't worry, these things happen. I'm certainly not going to start again. So into the pink. And I love that combination of the pink and the blue. Right, I'm going to stop there. But what I am going to do on this card, which I didn't on my other, is bring in a little bit of faux bleaching with my fan brush, just because I've got that little mark there. So just to add, so if that happens, just to add a little bit more interest into the sky. Pop that back on. Don't want to add much, because I really just need it over here. But I need to add it everywhere else so it looks like it was part of the design. Ah, obviously it was. I intended to do it on this one, didn't I? You know, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. And what I'm going to do is just get a piece of kitchen roll and then just, yeah, that's faux bleached enough. So we'll dry that. There we go. Be quite nice this, because you'll be able to see the difference of the two, she says, obviously because that's what we intended, but it's just got rid of that, so I'm happy with that. Now, just for some added colour here and some extra sparkle, I'm going to come in with my gold and my clear wink of Stella and use them together. And what I'm going to do, I have this funny lid on my gold one. I don't know how I've done it, but anyway. So with the gold, I'm going to colour this middle bit here, but also I'm just going to colour the middle of each of the seed heads, look. But then with the clear, sort of blend it out and go round. If I want to pick some up, I can look, because once it's used the gold, it will go back to clear. So on here, look, and it's just a lovely way of getting extra sparkle and showing up that lovely detail. And again, like I say, if I want a bit more, I can pick a bit of gold up, and that just gives me more gold in the middle, and then it goes out to clear, a bit of an ombre type effect. And you can just vary how much gold, how much clear. Just want to go over that green, blend that out, and you get that lovely sparkle. So on here, look, we'll add the gold, and then we can blend that to the clear and drag that down. So a little bit of gold there, a little bit on my brush, blend that out and down the stem. And I'm just going to do that on each one. It's a lovely way of blending these colours. And as I say, it just gives you that extra sparkle. We'll add a little bit on there. I don't know if you can pick that up, but honestly, believe you me, it's beautiful, except I think I've missed that one off. I do this, you know, it's so good that you're with me, because I hear you when you tell me, Jo, you've missed a bit. Right. Clear, gold, lids on. And you can really see that green just picking up a little bit on there. So what I want to do now is add a little bit of shading. So I'll get my lovely pastel pencils. And first of all, with the white, I'm just going to add a little bit of highlight on our beautiful fairy. And it will just catch the front of her arm, look, and a little bit on her knee and her feet. Just a little bit of shape and just that little bit of highlight. And then with the black, I'm just going to add some shade. So under here, and also just under here, just to ground her. And we'll just drag it out there in this space. And the reason I'm doing this is two things. I just want to extend the area here, but also that's where I'm going to put my sentiments. And this is just a biodegradable cotton bud, just to save me using my finger. Now, I'm just going to blow that over my bin. And then just let me check this edge. I am a bit funny how it finishes. Just want to add a little bit more. Just darken that a little bit. Yeah, I prefer that, just that bit fuzzier. And then I'm going to add my lovely sentiment. And the reason I've left my sentiment till now is just so I can place it here. But also, I think this will be a lovely card, you know. I mean, I'm going to stamp the sentiment, some see a weed, others see a wish. And again, use your acetate, and I think that's going to go lovely over there. And it follows that shape. But this would be a lovely card to leave as an emergency card. So if you needed a card for a birthday, you could put a birthday sentiment on it. Or it could make a get well card. Or, right, again, I just might put my head over, I need it straight. Or it could be you want to wish somebody well. Maybe they've got an interview or... And I think that would cover so many different eventualities. Now, you can leave it there if you want. You know me, last little thing, yellow sparkle. Lovely Posca, and just around the seed head, look. And then around these lovely seed heads flying off. Last little thing, what I thought is, with the seed head, look, here where we've got our punctuation, just gonna pop the seed head over it, look. Just, there we go. And then bit of gold. It needs to match the others. And then a bit of clear and down there. And I just feel as though that makes a lovely cohesive design and brings the whole lot together. And a little bit, again, focusing look. I'm holding it close so I get it, the little splats exactly where I want them. Get rid of the copy of paper. And then hopefully I've got that lovely design. Now you could even make a card, you know, if you wanted to make, you know, a journal page, why not stamp and have the full seed head? And then maybe have one at this stage, and then one with a few left, and then one with just the actual stem at the end. Now that would be lovely, wouldn't it? And I'm sure you have got lots of other ideas of how you can use this lovely stamp. It's great fun, and if you need a bit of fun, this is a lovely thing to do. Now I did start off with a 7x7 piece of multifarious, but you could, if you want, just use this part. So you could use this for a DL card, or even you'd be amazed how much you can fit on an A6. So as always, thank you very much for joining me. Look, I've just noticed I've got a few more leaves on this one than I have on this one. Just shows you no two are ever the same. And obviously we've got our water splats on this one. Just look at the difference in the backgrounds. That was just my blending. This one, we just needed our emergency water splats, didn't we? So I hope you have a lovely evening. Take care of yourselves. Big hugs from me, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.